Hello, my name is Daniel Ayrton, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our online educational therapy sessions at Learning for All. So, let's talk about who am I. I am Daniel Ayrton, like I said. I am a lead therapeutic tutor here at Learning for All. I've been working here since 2019, and I currently live in Washington State. So, as you can imagine, my commute to San Diego is quite long. So, instead, my sessions are done primarily online, which is why I'm here to talk to you a little bit about doing online sessions. Like I said, I'm a lead therapeutic tutor here at Learning for All. I've been here since 2019. I work exclusively online. I am certified in Barton Reading and Spelling and a certified cognitive mediator. I'm a big old nerd. That's what that all means. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what online sessions are and what they aren't. They are not just an adjustment to COVID. When we think of online learning, often because so much of it was thrust online when COVID started, we tend to equate anything that we do online with kind of like just compensation for adjustment for COVID. But our online sessions are not just an adjustment for COVID. They're something we've been doing since before COVID. We started offering them in 2019 when we were at a point where we felt like families had been asking for this, and we felt like we had adjusted well for it, and we had prepared our materials well. We were able to start offering them with integrity. So this has been happening since before COVID. We understand the importance of real life interactions. Our online sessions happen live over Zoom. So your student is not just being shoved in front of a computer and made to watch a pre-recorded video. They're not just going to sit there and have me talk at them for 50 minutes. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to go back and forth. If any of your students have me, you know that I like to ask a lot of questions. So there's going to be conversation there. There's going to be dialogue that happens there, but also they're going to be interacting with the tools that we use. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment here. The key is real-time interactions. Our sessions are happening live. We use the same interventions as our face-to-face sessions. So we use Barton Reading and Spelling. We use Reading Detective. We use Perceptions Blue. All of these same stuff that we use for our face-to-face sessions, we use for our online sessions as well. And we have adapted them to work well online. Our services are one-on-one and personalized to each learner. So it's not like a cookie-cutter system where we're just going to try this on all of our students. We have identified what are your learners' particular challenges and strengths, and what tools we have to help address those challenges and help build them up. And so they're personalized to each learner. Our interventions are just as evidence-based as our face-to-face sessions. We use methods that are explicit, multisensory, systematic, fully integrated, and intensive. This is the gold standard for dealing with students with dyslexia and other learning disabilities as well. So the benefits of online sessions. It adds a good amount of flexibility to your life. So you still have consistency with that schedule. You know, little Timmy gets seen every Tuesday and Thursday at 3:30 p.m. That's still the same week to week, but the flexibility that you get is that your learner can be seen from anywhere that they have access to a computer and stable internet. Most often, this looks like we see them from home. And because we see them online on Zoom, we get a little window into their family life, which I always love to see. And so whereas if you're doing a face-to-face session, you might have to stop what everyone's doing, rush them home from school, get them changed, rush them off, load everyone up into the car, drive to our office, sit in your car for 50 minutes, and drive everyone back home, and then try to figure out what you're going to do for dinner. So if we're doing online sessions, your student just plops themselves in front of their computer and works while you're doing something else. So we often see parents in the background cooking dinner, chopping vegetables. I have a lot of students whose parents are in the background, they're in the next room over working from home, right? So a great amount of flexibility that gets added here. Some of our students were able to see from school. So we have an agreement with the school that for 50 minutes, little Timmy comes into this separate room, gets a computer and headphones, and we get to work with them for 50 minutes and make some progress while they're at school. If you're going on vacation, as long as you have access to a computer and stable internet, I can see little Timmy from a beach house in Florida while you're on vacation. So this is a common thing that even with our students who are regularly face-to-face, when they're going on vacation, if you're going to be gone for a week, that's a week of no sessions. That's some missed progress. That's some consistency that's lacking in their lives. So if we're going to go on vacation, then what we can do is, as long as you're going to have a computer and stable internet, we can just switch our sessions to online for that time. So if you know you're going on vacation ahead of time, you can reach out to Leslie and say, hey, we're going to be gone for this time. Can we schedule these online? The learner does not need to be super technologically advanced. I think this is what some people worry about, is my kid doesn't know how to do a lot of stuff on the computer. And that's okay. All they need to know is how to open Zoom. And if they don't know that, then they just need someone else to open Zoom for them. It could be you. It could be an older sibling. It could be grandma or grandpa. Someone else who can open Zoom for them. We use a lot of tools in our work together, but that's all on my end. I know how to work all those tools, and I will just share my screen with the students like I'm doing now with you, and they can take control and move things around. The learner is fully involved in the session. They're not just going to sit and stare at a screen like we mentioned. They're going to be involved. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what this looks like. So this is Wizimo. This is the tool that we use to work with Barton with our kids. It is just like if they were working with the tiles in person. They're able to move things around. I can give them control of my screen so they can just use my cursor to move things around and go ahead and they can build words. Right? Boom. And we can do our normal Barton work. So this allows us to maintain the multisensory aspect of it. They're not just sitting in front of a computer, but they're getting hands-on. They're moving things around. Right? Wonderful. We also have Miro, which is a tool that we use to collect documents and present them to our students. So Codebreaker is one of our cognitive integration techniques, using Morse code to work on auditory attention and auditory discrimination skills. Right? We can do that online this way. I can share my audio with them and I can buzz out some sounds in Morse code. When we are working on a page of building thinking skills, this sort of worksheet-based activity where we ask a lot of questions and really dig into our thinking processes, they can still draw, they can still write on the worksheet, they can type. But the big benefit of online sessions is that we have a lot of tools that are a little bit more difficult and time-consuming in person, where I can quickly write out this list of things, or I can quickly generate this table, and we can fill it in quickly to organize our thoughts a little bit better. This is from Reading Detective, an activity where we read through a story with our students, so I can show it to them and we can still read through it and answer some questions. But this story was about the gold rush, and about the author's writing a letter from the gold rush. And so he talks about how he's super rich because he's finding $20 worth of gold every day. And to us in 2023, that doesn't sound like a lot. But since we're online, I can just pop open a new tab, find an inflation calculator, and we can realize that $20 in 1849 dollars is approximately worth $800,000. It was approximately worth $800 today. Right? So this person's finding $800 worth of gold every day. And that adds a lot of context. That helps us go deeper into the content that we're engaging with. Like I said, you can see they're sort of writing. This was an example of a student where I was showing them how graph paper can help line up our thought process. So if we're doing something like long division, we can use the lines of graph paper to help organize our columns so that they don't start slanting. Here's another example of some math worksheets that we were working on with students. They can draw. We can fully draw out what we're thinking of. This is from an example of a student where we were talking about a story and talking about conflict in literature. I was able to quickly come up with this graphic, because we're online, to help organize our discussion a little bit more and talk about what is internal and external conflicts. What are examples of these kinds of conflicts? This is from a writing activity that we do where we talk about this narrowing triangle, which is a way to help us find a nice specific topic. So now we're not just filling out the worksheet, but we're able to create our own example of this graphic organizer, and we are able to go a little bit deeper and practice using this tool. So, okay. If you have any questions, info@learningforallsd.com is our general email. So you can direct questions there. If you want to set up an online session with your student, you can email this email. And I always recommend for families, if you haven't tried doing an online session yet, put one on the schedule. Talk to Leslie about how you can switch one of your sessions to online because you want to try it out. And that way you figure out, maybe it works for my kid, maybe it doesn't, maybe we want to do it regularly, maybe we don't. But even if you don't do it regularly, you have that option now that if you go on vacation or you're going to be out of town for whatever reason, or your car gets, anything happens that you're not able to come into sessions, you have the option of scheduling an online session as well. So that adds that flexibility. So that's all I have to say to that. Thanks for your time.